Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Minecraft New Endoxas. Today I wanted to take you guys through a world tour. Okay, so without any further ado, I'm gonna go outside. I've got some shaders. All right, so the world may look a little different from normal Minecraft, but the texture pack is all the latest vanilla textures. So I'm going to be taking you through the world. There are some people that I cannot divulge. I cannot actually reveal who they are, but I will reveal the people that are on the server that I can divulge. And so, yeah. So first we're going to go through Matthew's house, all right? And Matthew, many of you that watch the channel regularly, you guys know him as Dizzy Doom. He is a good friend of mine, and he has been a friend of mine since actually 3rd grade, and which has been several years ago. My shader thing needs to render a few chunks, but anyway, so he has this bridge coming out here, and he's got the sea lanterns. He's got this dog that's just been sitting there just since the beginning of time. He's working on a library right now. This is as of April 3rd of 2019, so he's got this library he's working on right now, and he's not finished with it, of course. He's got to get some extra books, but working on it. He's got his farms there. That monument has been there for a really long time, ever since basically almost around the time that we first went to the Nether. He got some quartz and he built that, and he actually he took blocks of coal initially, and they were my blocks of coal, and he's like, yeah, but you had a lot of blocks of coal, so but I replaced it with obsidian secretly. Anyway, so this is his house, and he's got a little mailbox. I actually gave it to him right here, and he decided he wanted to keep it, but he moved it. So he's got this. He's got all of his stuff. I'm not really going to go through all. Actually, I kind of want to know what he has. Anyway, he's got a little bit disorganized stuff, but I asked him about it. He said, he just doesn't really have a lot of stuff. So, that's his stuff. He's got 3 furnaces. He doesn't like to keep a lot of stuff. He said he just likes to keep basically what's necessary and then discard the rest. But what that means, it's 2 different styles, right? Because what that means is that when he's got a building project that he wants to work on, he needs to go and gather materials before he can actually work on it. I'm going to go through all of the structures, guys. This bridge is something that I made to get to him. When he first joined the server, he decided, hey, I'm going to build my place over on the lake. And I said, okay, well, I'll build a thing. Excuse me, what? Okay, that's a little weird, but I was like, I'll build a little bridge so that, oh great, I can't rest now. I'll build a little bridge so we can get across the lake very easily, and there should not be any issue with that. So, I know there's a lot of stuff that you're seeing in my house right now, and I will get to all of it. Just hold tight, and I will cover everything. So, anyway, so that's Matthew's house. I also want to take you through a big building project that he had, which he calls the Temple of Endoxas. All right, so the Temple of New Endoxas, as it should be called. But we're gonna go through there, and all you have to do is just go right across this lake, and he has a little dock where he has a boat. Right, he has some boats you can travel to this place. But I don't like to use that because you always have to worry about, where the dock or where the boat is, and you have to take it back and all that stuff. But I wanted to visit it so I could show you guys what it is. He built this giant staircase, and actually originally when he built this staircase, there were no safety rails, and I demanded that he put them in if he wanted me to ever visit this build, because I actually fell off and died, and that was really annoying. So, and look at that area. That's pretty cool. So yeah, he's got this thing going, and he's got this huge staircase, and I just fell off and died, and that was not fun, not fun at all. So I was like, you don't have to put safety rails in it if you don't want to, but if you don't, then I will just never go up there because I don't want to die again. And the reason I fell off was it's not just like, oh, I just can't control my steering or whatever. It was like a skeleton actually spawned and shot me off, because it was at night, and of course this journey takes kind of a long time, so because of that, you've got to really be careful what you're doing. This mountain actually goes up almost to build height, the build height limit, But this is the thing, and originally it was just basically a cube. Look at that view. Gosh, that looks amazing. And that's a floating island we'll get to. That's so cool looking at it from so far away. Anyway, so the Temple of Endoxas, it used to be like a cube. I was like, you know what? It's a little too simple. Let's see what we can do with it. So I worked with Matthew for a long time, and I built in this piston door here. You can go through, and we changed up the building materials a little bit with the lamps and the stairs and everything going through, and we rotated the sword here. Realm of Kings, forged by heroes. I really like what he's got going on here, and he also wanted to build a little garden over here. So he's got this garden going, and there's some little chairs here. And I personally think he probably should have added some signs to them. I think that would be pretty good, but some signs at least to make little armrest things. But you know, it's his build, so he gets to control what is on it. So the next thing we're going to go over is something nearby here also. And I just wanted to tell you guys, I just wanted to remind you guys, make sure if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and join the Discord server. Also, I want to thank Shem so much for being my Patreon supporter. Shem actually has a house in this world, and if you'd like to join this world, then all it takes is a pledge on Patreon of $5 or more. Now, see, a Minecraft realm by itself, if you're paying monthly, is going to cost $10. But if you pay $5 to my Patreon, then I will actually whitelist you on the server. Of course, that does come with a few caveats. You do have to actually follow our rules. Look at that. That is so cool, looking at that from so far away. You do actually have to follow our rules. Where's my floating island, please? Can you see it from here? Can you? For example, you cannot take people's diamonds, you cannot destroy people's stuff, you can't just like randomly kill people, you can't trap people in lava. You can prank people, but you can't do anything that involves killing them, destroying their stuff, stealing their things. Just respect people's time that they put into it. Those are the basic rules. And if you pay $5 or more on my Patreon page, then you do get a spot in the Minecraft realm. There are a limited number of spots available, of course, but when that fills up, I will be starting a new realm. Okay, so if you would like to be a part of the Minecraft realms, Minecraft New Endoxas, then yeah, you can definitely join, and there will be slots. And of course, if somebody is a Patreon supporter and they're on the server, and you're like, man, I really want on this same server as Plankicorn, and you know, but the slots are all full, then you know, if somebody stops being a Patreon supporter, then a slot will free up, and then I will have a list, you know, where I can actually move people onto the server, to this server. So next, I've got this little makeshift village that we've got going on here, and actually, I talked to Matthew about this, and he was like totally cool with it if we just spawned in some villagers, since the villagers in an amplified world, the villages, I should say, villages in an amplified world just generate in a very weird way, and they just like, they're split between mountains, and I don't know, the iron golems can't like react properly because they can't travel the vast distances. You'll have like a farm, and then you'll have a space that goes down like 100 blocks, and then it'll go down, and you'll have the other half of the farm. It's just so weird. You know, I've got these basic houses here. I've got this farm, and for a while, the farmer villager was actually replanting them and harvesting stuff and everything like that. And I've got like a stone hoe for when the iron golem stomps on it and everything. But for some reason, the villagers all disappeared except for one, and there's just the butcher, which is up here in the second floor, and he's just, oh, he's here. Hi, butcher. And he can exit anytime he wants, but he's just up here, and he just hangs out, and he's the only villager left. There were like 7 villagers or whatever, but they all disappeared. Again, just another simple house here. These are not really fleshed out at all. Just wanted to have that. Now, the story behind our skeleton horses, I called mine Bony Mick, because there was a regular viewer on my channel named Stony Mick, and, you know, I got a skeleton horse. Might as well call him Bony Mick. But anyways, so I named mine Bony Mick, and Matthew doesn't have a name for his just because he doesn't have a name tag. But what happened is, before Matthew was going to get off one day, there was a thunderstorm, and he's like, wait a second, what is that? And he was like, these are skeleton horses, and that was so cool. So we found 2 of them, and we tamed them, and now we have skeleton horses. I also have a tamed wolf. I named it Caracalla. I've got this little dispenser with a bunch of bones in it. If you, I don't think, Yeah, you can't activate it with an arrow. I don't know, but anyway, if you step on it, it dispenses a bone. There you go. So, you know, he's got like his little water trough and everything like that. I've got to replace this dirt. That's so weird. I don't know why that went away. So, and then we've got our monument. If you have not seen the first episode of Minecraft New Endoxas, this is where Dizzy and I go to the end. We actually get the dragon egg. We kill the dragon and we get the egg. And, yeah, so that I built a little monument to it. I built, you know, I got the piston trick where you put a piston, you power it with a block of redstone or a redstone torch or something like that. And then you can get the dragon egg and you can collect it. So that's where the monument to the dragon egg is. That is the only dragon egg that will ever spawn in this world. So, you know, it's kind of cool how we get to keep it. Then we've got this conduit, and this was actually really hard for me to get because Matthew and I actually ventured out. In one of the live streams, we went out and found a buried treasure thing. We found a heart of the sea. Through a lot of just hanging out underwater, trying to kill a bunch of drowned and everything, and also through a combination of that and fishing, I got a bunch of nautilus shells, built the conduit, and now we can swim all around this lake without drowning at all. So, next, I'm going to show you this house, and I can't reveal who it is, but I'm going to show you off this house. And it's just kind of a simple house. I like it, though. I helped design this floor. And, I mean, it's very, very simple. And, you know, as I said, the shaders, you know, sometimes they, what am I talking about? Sometimes the shaders need to load in extra chunks, and so it's going to skip around every once in a while. So, anyway, you know, not a whole lot of storage and everything, but, you know, it's there. It's somebody plays on the server. Anyway, yeah, there's my little place for my dog, my little place for my horse. I'm going to show you another house. Again, I cannot reveal who this is, but it's another person. Do not get on very often, but they do get on. It's actually two people. They do get on, and they you know, they got this there. They're not really finished with their stuff, but they're working on it. Oh, look at those god rays. It's so cool. So the next thing we're going to look at are my creations, and then we're actually going to move on to Shem's creations. And then finally, when we wrap it all up, we're going to go and tour my house. So this is a little thing that I built for a floating island. You know what? I'm actually going to turn off shaders. You know, I'm actually going to turn off the shaders because I wanted to make sure I want to make sure I get the maximum possible frame rate right now. And yeah, there we go. Oh, wow. Look at how smooth that is. That's amazing. All right, so we got this elevator here, and actually Matthew helped me build this. This was before I knew about the whole kelp trick where you can... Oh, that was weird. This is before I knew about the kelp trick where you can actually use kelp to get water sources when we went in manually, and Matthew did the buckets of water, and I went in there, and I broke signs, and I continued to build the cobblestone thing up, and I built this little thing. Matthew helped me with the elevator. I did all the rest of this stuff here. So we've got this, and then I just kind of cleared out this whole area. I'm not exactly sure what to put up here, but I've got it. So that's a thing, and you can actually go down here and you could look down at my stuff. It looks much cooler with the shaders, but you know. So I'm actually gonna. Can I change my render distance? 32. That's fine. You can actually go up here. Actually, you can actually go up here to the top, look out, but there's not really anything up there, so I don't need to go down. I don't need to go up there. But the cool thing, the fun parts of this place are the elevators, and that is the up elevator, which of course I showed you, and then the down elevator is so cool. You just run right into the stone and whee! And I love that. You just get to drop all the way down, and that is so fun because you don't have to worry about dying. You don't have to worry about feather falling and all that crap. So. You know, we've got that, and that is that's about where we are for our little community. Now, I have a little strip mine over there, and I have a road there. I don't really know why I have that road to the random strip mine. I think it was because there was an arena there before I built a skeleton farm. But we're actually next. Wow, this lighting looks so different without the shaders. That's so weird. Okay. But anyways, so next we're actually going to be going to the Nether. I'm actually going to show you Shem's place. And it's going to take a little bit of a walk, but that's okay because we can talk. We can walk and talk. this is kind of like a Nether hub. I mean, it's not really that involved. Like, it's not really that elaborate and everything. It started out really elaborate when Shem first started his jungle house. We don't need to look at that because that's just an abandoned house, and he had this really cool minecart thing. It's really cool looking, but that's his first thing. It says abandoned house, cave spider farm, jungle biome. Yeah. So he actually did have a cave spider farm there, which you can get a lot of experience, a lot of spider eyes, a lot of string, tons of string. But, you know, he abandoned it, and what is that off in the distance? Is that just fire? What is that? That's just fire. I can't believe that's just fire. I'm so used to seeing the Nether with all the shaders and everything. It's just weird. It's just odd. That's what it is. But, that it's a little bit of a walk. Originally, this was one thick, and I was like, Shem, you gotta clear this up, man. You gotta make this a little safer, because right now it's too unsafe. It's just crazy how unsafe it is. Eventually, it was not per my request. He didn't do it because of me. He actually, as you can see, he started to build a rail here, but because it was so expensive to build a rail, instead he was like, well, maybe I'll just take a horse there instead. And you know, in order to take a horse, he needed to make it thick, because you don't want the horse to die in the Nether, and you know, you're like stranded, and then you've got gas attacking you and all that stuff. So instead, he just made it thick. He made it thick. He made it 3 thick. That glass was because I cover everything up with cobblestone in the Nether, because I want to make it as safe as possible. And he was like, wow, I can't believe you actually made this safer with cobblestone. So he's just like, all right, fine. I'll just put glass, and that way it looks cool, but it's still safe. So this is Shem's place, and it's so cool. Shem has been working so hard. He's been working overtime. And, you know, perhaps in the next World Tour, I'll be able to show off something else, somebody else's creation, if I get the support on Patreon. He built this... He built this little dock here, and it looks pretty cool. It kind of looks run down, but I think is what his goal was. But it's cool. It's really cool. He's got this path. He's got these farms, and these farms are huge. Okay, and you could farm everything. You can farm. I mean, this farm is huge. This one's not so huge, but he's got the cocoa beans. He's got the sugar cane. He's got the cacti, an infinite spring randomly. He's got a map room. Okay, he's got a map room. This is not totally finished, but that is cool. Okay, that is really cool. I like that. I like what he's got going on. He's mapping out this entire area. I don't know what that is. That could be lava or something? I'm not entirely sure, but it's just really cool to me how he's got this huge map. You could just look in. There's not really too much else to see here except for the structure itself. As far as I know, he's got a lot of empty rooms, and he's trying to work on the ceiling. Last I heard, which is going to be a job and a half. I mean, that is going to be an insane job. But oh yeah, look at that. He's decorating with redstone. What? Oh my gosh! He needs to use end rods. I think those would be really cool here. There's a lot of stuff that I have, or there's a few things I haven't seen, but. Yeah, so, and then around here, at a certain, like, over and off in that direction, we've got, there's, like, a home beach for 1 sea turtle, so I really don't like that there's just 1, so you can't, like, make any kind of sea turtle farm. It's really hard to find sea turtles. But that is Shem's house. Now, I believe we've gone over just about everything. Just about everything in the world, except for, you know, some select places like in the Nether. I've got the stronghold. We don't have a base in the end. It's just sort of like a skeleton structure. I mean, not like the mob, but like I've just got a basic structure just to get to and from the outer islands of the end. When I learned about the end, how the outer islands are like 1,000 blocks away from the main island, you can actually build a bridge that's like 1,000 blocks away. and actually get to the main island, or the outer islands, I was like, what? I mean, that was insane to me when I first learned about that, but... So it almost looks like there's no lighting. It almost looks like there's nothing dark or light. It's just everything is totally fine. I mean, I think that may have been... I think maybe what I needed to do is turn shaders to internal? That probably was what I needed to do. I bet you that was it. Yeah, now I've got some fog generating, I think. I might even be wrong with that, but... Anyway, so... Yeah, there's quite a bit in our world, but the thing is, it's very tightly packed in that initial community. There's a workbench Shem left when he was building this pathway. It's very tightly packed in our little community. We did build this giant pathway toward that woodland mansion. If you guys have not seen that woodland mansion, when Dizzy and I, Matthew and I, went to the woodland mansion, you can watch that. It's in my live stream somewhere. But the reason why we can basically never go back, and the reason why that was basically a waste of time, is that after we left, he burned the entire thing down. Matthew decided it would be really funny. He was like, "Do you think we'll ever come back to this?" And I was like, "I don't think so. It takes 20 minutes just running through the Nether to get here." So I was like, "Probably not." He's just like, "All right," and I'm setting it on fire. So I don't think, are these things, no, these things are not even still working. Yeah, these, I have a lot of stone in there. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys my house. All right, my house, there's an Enderman. Hi, Enderman. All right, so my house, guys, if you did not see the initial episode, then you will not understand what this used to be. This used to be the first wheat farm back when I had, like, no food. I later added some over here, and I also had some inside my actual house. And guys, the struggle was real when I first started this world. It was originally actually a single player world. Then I got a Minecraft realm, and I turned it into a multiplayer world, and I let Matthew join. And then I let all the other people join. I would try to get an ender pearl from that guy, but now I have access to the end, and it's super easy to get ender pearls now. So anyway, so you go over in this. I built this bridge. I built this roof, but actually that was kind of a later addition. This is my mailbox. There's nothing in there. And I mean, you walk outside my house. I think it's just a killer view. It's so awesome. I've also got a strip mine down there where I just mine out a huge area, but that's not part of my house. I think a lot of people just are ready to see my house. So one more time, I want to remind you, if you're enjoying this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and join the Discord server. I'm gonna move this chest. Honestly, I'm not. This is supposed to be the food chest with a whole bunch of random stuff in there also. But this was like an initial. Initially, the shape is so weird because originally this was a cave, and I turned it into my house. I replaced all the walls and everything, and I turned it into my house. And this crafting table, this is where it all started. I basically have not moved this crafting table since I first started building this as my house. I've got some bookshelves here. This originally was where I was putting my enchanted books, but now I've just got, I got the villager spawn eggs, like I got, you know, after talking it over with Matthew and everything. I went into here. I've got a garbage disposal. This used to be a cobblestone wall, but it's now an end rod since I have access to that. You can actually walk in here, and you will not die in the lava. And if you want to throw something away, then you just stand right here and you throw something, and it just, you can throw it away. So I love having a garbage disposal in my home. I think it's really, really useful. So I've got it. You go down here is my enchanting room. Now I've got actually chests full of enchanted books, all right? And I know there's a weird structure going on here, but that's just because I'm trying to combine them. I'm trying to make my next Silk Touch pick, so I'm trying to get efficiency 5 on it, and I think that'll be good. Yeah, my next Silk Touch pick is coming up next. And then I've got, you know, my arrangement of bookshelves. I've got glowstone. Originally, this was redstone blocks, but eventually I replaced it with glowstone because, you know, there you go. So then I've got my storage system, just very basic storage system. I put a block next to next to what is actually in the chest, and then I've also got an elevator system. So, you know, you can press this button, and then you fall all the way down to the bottom, and this is where I store all my stone, basically cobblestone, andesite, diorite, granite, and all that stuff. You got a brewing stand and all that, and then you walk up, and there's that. Okay, and then here's my wheat farm. I've got a big nether wart farm. It's not really big by normal Minecraft standards, but it exists. I've got potatoes, carrots, and beetroots, which I found in a village at one point. I've got a sugarcane farm, but that's still really a work in progress. And then I've got two final things. I've got this, my biome thing, and I've got that. And then I've got my little underground place, and these have a bunch of biomes in it. I've got my animals down here. I thought the hay bales were a nice addition. Got all my animals there. I don't know what to do with that room right now. I was thinking I was going to put my regular farms there, but I'm not exactly sure right now. I've got my melons, and I've got like a bunch of flowers. Some of them I found in a flower forest near Shem, and that was pretty cool. And I've got my cactus farm. So, and a lot of these are still a work in progress because I've got to get a lot of wood and stuff like that, and I just like can't find the energy and the motivation to finish that. But anyways, I mean, that's basically how it goes. That's basically the entire world tour, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. You know what to do if you enjoyed the video. I want to thank everyone so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.